Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of Fca Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Daily news and updates for 24th December 2024. Honda and Nissan are in talks to merge by 2026. A historic pivot for Japan's auto industry that underlines the threat Chinese EV makers now pose to the world's long dominant legacy car makers. The tie-up would create the world's third largest auto group by vehicle sales after Toyota and Volkswagen. It would also give the two companies scale and a chance to share resources in the face of intense competition from Tesla and more nimble Chinese rivals such as BYD. Luxury brands like Gucci and Louis Vuitton are witnessing increased sales in India's non-metro cities due to e-commerce and travel retail expansion. High-end consumption patterns are emerging in Tier 2 and 3 locations like Ajmer, Surat and Kochi, demonstrating rising affluence and spending capacity among consumers. With a young demographic and an expanding middle class, India's Tier 2 cities and beyond are displaying a greater propensity to spend. Hisense Group, China's largest television manufacturer and amongst its largest appliance makers, is planning to acquire a stake of up to 26% in Indian contract manufacturer ICAI Durables' wholly owned subsidiary. ICAI is building a large manufacturing facility in Sri City, Andhra Pradesh, to produce air conditioners, refrigerators, washing machines, and small domestic appliances under the Hisense brand. The factory will be set up by the newly created subsidiary ICAI Manufacturing Technologies, where Hisense will acquire the stake. Adani Defence Systems and Technologies, or ADSTL, has signed an agreement to acquire 85.8% stake in Airworks, India's largest private sector aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul company, at a valuation of Rs 400 crore. Airworks undertakes base maintenance for narrow-body and turboprop aircraft as well as rotary aircraft from its facilities at Hosur, Mumbai and Kochi. Airworks has received regulatory approvals from civil aviation authorities of more than 20 countries. With a workforce of more than 1,300 personnel, Airworks handles MRO works of commercial as well as defense aircrafts. Indian carriers have ordered about 1,500 commercial aircraft in the last 2 years. This would need a massive expansion of existing MRO facilities in the country. The GST Council's decision to retrospectively amend the Central Goods and Services Tax Act to restrict input tax credit on construction services for commercial real estate such as malls, shops, etc. for leasing could push project costs and increase rents. In a case involving one safari retreats, the Supreme Court earlier allowed input tax credit claims on construction costs for rental properties. However, at the 55th meeting at Jaisalmer, the Council decided to retrospectively amend the Act, reversing the ruling that allowed input tax credit. Those who have historically been availing input tax credit may now be more apprehensive about being challenged by the GST authorities and may choose to pass it on to their tenants. Travel tech company Oyo said it has completed the acquisition of US-based G6 Hospitality from Blackstone for $525 million. The all-cash deal was initially announced in September. G6 Hospitality is an economy lodging franchisor and the parent company of Motel 6 and Studio 6 brands. With this acquisition, Oyo will get around 1,500 franchised hotels across the USA and Canada.
This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.